I have solved the case. The mystery of a lifetime. I know James Gunn's plan for the DCU. It all started when Zack Snyder's DC Extended Universe was put into the ground. James Gunn and Peter Safran were announced as the new co-heads of DC. Fast forward and we're in January 2023. James Gunn officially announces his DCU slate. He titles it Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. Little did we know the true meaning behind it, but 2.5 years later, I figured it out. So in a few moments, the whole world will know the best kept secret of the decade. We are now in September 2025. We have 3 DCU projects: Creature Commandos, Superman, and Peacemaker Season 2. Creature Commandos is our first taste at the future. We see Cersei's vision at the end of the show, showcasing dead superheroes, including Superman and The Flash. We're going to come back to this. In Superman, we learn about pocket dimensions. We learn that they can teleport you to different locations and you can essentially create mini-universes. They are dangerous and can destroy the whole world. And finally, James Gunn announces that Peacemaker Season 2 will have a first true tease as to the big event in Chapter 1 of the DCU. True to his promise, in Episode 3, we got it. We have seen our very first glimpse of this big event. And now, it is clear that every project so far has slowly been setting it up. So, as Peacemaker travels to his perfect dimension, us, the audience, see Earth X for our very first time. What is Earth X, you ask? What does that have to do with anything? Hold your breath, I'm going to tell you right now. Earth X was a parallel Earth where the Nazis won World War II. There's a team called the Freedom Fighters who are the resistance, fighting the never-ending war. Their stories are much darker than the Justice League and Justice Society. The leader is Uncle Sam, and the main superheroes on his team are the Ray, Human Bomb, Phantom Lady, Black Condor, Dollman, and eventually others as well. These freedom fighters play a big role in the DC event Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is arguably the biggest DC event of all time, where eventually they get merged into the main Earth Prime, otherwise known as New Earth. In the comics, Earth X appeared in both Justice League of America and Justice Society comics. In Crisis, when the Anti-Monitor began destroying universes, Earth X was one of the endangered worlds. The freedom fighters joined the larger heroes from across the multiverse to resist the destruction. They fought alongside Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and others in the big cross-multiverse battles. Now, we have seen Earth X once before, and that was in the Arrowverse. They used it as their first big crisis event where the heroes versed their Nazi selves. It was a taster to see if audiences were interested in the whole Crisis on Infinite Earth story. I believe James Gunn is already laying out the pieces for it. By introducing the Freedom Fighters, we're also exploring a newer superhero team that will be fighting in very different times to what we are used to. We haven't had many World War II superhero stories, and I believe that there is a gap that it can fill. We also know that there's a secret DCU project that James Gunn has been hiding with concepts he does not want leaked and stolen. I believe this project is a Freedom Fighters project. Now, setting up Earth X will also help deepen the impact of when Crisis happens, as the audience will feel for this world, especially if it is at the point where the Freedom Fighters are finally starting to win. The pieces James Gunn has been laying out are similar to what Marvel did with the Infinity Stones and Thanos. Going back to Creature Commandos, Cersei uses her magic to reveal a possible future or an alternate reality. It's not necessarily the main DCU timeline, it's also not necessarily real as it is a vision, but it could be a warning or a prophecy. Cersei's vision could easily show a world ruled by Nazis, which is exactly Earth X. It establishes high stakes early in the DCU, shows that the multiverse exists. There are worlds worse than the main one. Earth X is a parallel Earth ruled by Nazis, so any Superman, Flash, or other hero in that world could look familiar, but not be the main version that we follow. Gunn could be foreshadowing the horrors of Earth X by showing these heroes to be, well, dead. Now let's talk about Superman and Earth X stories. The character of Superman is not a hero, but he is a villain named Overman. He's an Aryan super soldier who was found by the Nazis after his spaceship crashed in Czechoslovakia, leading him to become a symbol of the Nazi regime that won World War II. Born as Kal-El on the dying planet Krypton, his parents sent him in a rocket to the planet Earth, where he landed in Sudetenland instead of Kansas and was raised as Karl Kant. Eventually, he became the champion of the Fourth Reich, and with his Kryptonian technology, Adolf Hitler was able to win World War II and conquer the planet. Overman was really only opposed by the Freedom Fighters. In this universe, there's also Overgirl, who we generally know as Supergirl. Could the secrets in Peacemaker Season 2 really be the introduction of Overman? Maybe they'll follow a similar route to the Arrowverse and make Earth X a massive crisis event. It worked once, it can work again. It can really build interest and engagement in the DCU. It also would completely separate the DCU from the Arrowverse and the DCEU, as they both exist in a multiverse with a completely different Earth X. I know I have previously theorized Blue Beetle to be in the Peacemaker Season 2, and I still believe that this will be the case. I just also believe that James Gunn is slowly setting up Crisis on Infinite Earths. It will be interesting to see the Justice League be born in an Earth X event. It's also a good way to test audience interest in the multiverse without fully committing to it. So let's see how the story progresses and when we will first see Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Cyborg team up and form the Justice League. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. I'd love to know what you all think of this. And have a great day.